Hello, thank you so much for watching. Louise here again. I was thinking maybe we could all do with a clip on what to do if you've been imagining for a while and the thing you're imagining for is just not appearing in your world. We've all had that happen, I think. So I don't know if I'm going to call this something like chill out and play the game or um, something like keep going. I don't know. I haven't come up with a name yet. So I came up with three main points, though, to help us all to keep going when it just feels that even though we're living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, we have imagined the scene that we fulfilled our desire, still not appearing in our world, and we're beginning to lose faith a bit. I have made some notes, so I'll probably have to refer to these because my memory is not very good. But the three main points that I came up with are: number one, assume, know, relax. Number two, persist in time. And number three is detach from grasping. That's very important. So number one is assume, know, relax. And I spoke about the assumption in a previous clip. That's so important that you just assume it's happened. You've just got to believe that the thing you're wanting to appear in your life has already happened in the future. And just know that. Know it beyond all shadow of a doubt and relax into that feeling. So it should have a light touch about it, a sure touch, and then just let it go. Now, obviously, sometimes time goes on, and if it's not happening, we can lose faith a bit. So, what's the antidote to not assuming? Listening to Neville Goddard is the number one thing I would recommend. So, I think we need to keep on listening to his lectures regularly, because we've been brought up with a different belief system, and old beliefs die hard. That's the essence of it. So even though you might believe everything he says and have studied him for many years, if you don't keep on listening, it can easily just go. Objective reality is very powerful and can have a very strong effect on us. So I say keep reading his books, keep listening to his talks, saturate yourself with it. And what else did I put? Yes, so you're giving objective reality this solid, unchangeable state. And it's actually not like that. And even science says it's not like that. I mean, things look like they are still, but they're actually a mass of molecules and particles moving at different rates. And so everything is actually moving, even though it looks like it's still. So we shouldn't trust our senses too much. And just remember that. Yeah, so don't trust your senses too much. I think I covered that one. So that's the first one. Just keep assuming. Hello again. Sorry about that. I did another clip and I've lost it. I'm not very good with technology, am I? So I was on number two, persist in time. So we can become a bit impatient when things are not happening quick enough for us. We are dealing with the timeless here. So the more natural you make something feel, the quicker it will happen. So you've got to just try and keep the faith and persist in time. When I was looking for any information about this from Neville Goddard, what I found was he's written about the naturalness of the feeling will quicken up the manifestation. So it's all about really imagining that you're in this very natural state. The assumption is very important. So the more natural you make it, hopefully the quicker it will appear in your world. And he also spoke about the gestation periods of different animals and how they all have a different gestation period. So they all give birth after a different amount of time. And he compared that to the different things we're imagining for, that everything has a different time to manifest. And he used to quote from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens and it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure and it will not be late. And I think it's good to think about that part saying it is sure and just really focus on that. And you just got to believe it is going to happen. His brother Victor used to imagine that a certain building was his, and he would go to the building every day, I think, in his lunch hour, and he'd imagine his name on the building. And I think it took about 2 years, but he did get that building. So I think it's worth it. It might take a while, but just keep going with it, because if you're doing it properly and you're keeping the faith, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't get the thing that you're imagining for. So just believe in yourself and keep going. That's what I say. So I think that is everything on time. Let me just check. Yeah, you just don't know how long things are going to take. So, dedication and patience, and keep training the mind. That's the main thing. Okay, so number 3 is grasping. So we've got to not grasp after our desires, because when we grasp, when we cling on to something very tightly, we're sending out this idea that we don't have that thing. We've got a kind of void in us, a sense of lack, and it's a very unpleasant feeling too. It's very much a feeling of just something being out there that you need and you don't have it. And it feels fake, because it is fake. Because deep down inside, we know that that thing can't make us truly happy. Usually it's a person, but it can be a thing as well. So how do we detach from the feeling that we need something or somebody? It's a pointless thing to do. We know it's pointless, but sometimes we just do this intellectually because of our old belief systems. So again, keep studying, keep contemplating wisdom, meditating on wisdom, and just develop that strong belief in the power being within you, the imagination, God, and that's all you need. And trust in that you have all the power you need within you. Don't give that power to another person or a thing. There's nothing wrong with imagining for something. We all want things in this world. But it's when you are feeling that loss, that lack, and it brings you pain. And that's not the truth. So that's why I think it's so important to meditate on the truth, on wisdom, on spirituality, so that we change within. And then we can be really relaxed and imagine for things we need in the world, and they'll come to us easily. And there'll be no sense of loss. There'll be no sense of grasping, because we're going to trust in it so much. And we know that deep down we don't need it, but it's just going to make our life a bit easier and happier, hopefully. So that's where we need to get to, really. So studying all the time. If you're grasping after a person, maybe you've gone and put that person on a pedestal, and you see them as being better than you, which is not the truth. So you've gone too far in one direction. You've gone to an extreme. So you've got to try and bring yourself back. And if that means focusing on their perceived flaws, I mean, sometimes I think, well, we all have flaws, don't we? None of us are perfect. And then sometimes I think, we're all perfect in our imperfection. We're all made this way for a reason. But just for the sake of objective reality and how most people see the world, let's talk about flaws. So everybody has perceived flaws. So focus on their flaws, not hating them or saying bad things about them. That doesn't help anybody, least of all you. But just seeing them as real people, not as some kind of a god, and then focus on your qualities and that you are a worthy person and you deserve the best. And maybe that person isn't for you anyway. So big yourself up a bit, not being boastful, but just being a bit realistic that you've got things to offer. That person's not perfect. And then you start to get a bit of freedom in there, and you're detaching a bit from the grasping, and then you can start again. Just imagine again, because you've let go. So it works for me anyway. And if you're imagining for something and you feel, oh, it's never going to come, and I'm disillusioned, I'm disappointed with how my life's turned out so far, you've got to think of all the things that you do have. It's like a reality check. And be grateful for that. Just really feel gratitude for what you have, because you've got more than a lot of people have. And then start again. So always balancing out the negative feeling with positive feelings, and then start again. Because I think the grasping does weaken the more you do this, and the more you get a grip on what's actually going on. And but this helps. It really does help. So try not to grasp anyway. But if you do, just loosen it up a bit. So I think that's it really. Just it's just old mind patterns, and we've just got to work on freeing ourselves from that. So assume, keep going, be patient, be dedicated to your dream, and detach from grasping. Imagining for something is not grasping after it. It's got a freer sense to it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for listening to the end. Sorry about it getting dark and me doing this a bit late, but for some reason the second clip didn't come out. So let me know what you think, and if anybody wants me to do a clip about something else, some other subject, please suggest it. I'll be happy to do that. Okay, so good luck and thank you for watching. Bye.